What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to my channel, my name is Jordan. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay guys, so we are out here in these streets here in Vietnam. We are apartment hunting. If you do not know this yet, my family and I decided to move to Vietnam after visiting here for 2 weeks. We fell in love with it and just really wanted to see what life would be like out here. So we are currently out here. It is actually pouring rain outside. So we're gonna be out here looking for apartments in Vietnam. We're just waiting on our realtor. Is somebody that I found online. So comment below if you are interested in this realtor. He actually has been so great with showing us different apartments. Comment below and I can give you his information because he is actually amazing. We are looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. I'm gonna post all the apartments that we looked at, and I'm also gonna post the prices of these apartments. Comment below on what apartment is your favorite. Come with us to check out these different apartments in Vietnam. So this is apartment number 1. It is located on the 21st floor. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. It is listed at 18 million Vietnamese dong, which equals about 684 USD. I do believe that this apartment is negotiable on the price. The apartment does come with an oven, which is very rare in Asia. Even when we were apartment hunting in China, it was very rare for us to find an apartment that had an oven. So this one having an oven is something really great about this apartment. The views in this apartment is actually really nice and beautiful. One thing about the complexes here is all of them come with amenities. You're typically going to get a pool, a gym, and a kids play area, and sometimes a game room. One thing about me, y'all, is I'm going to hit every button and flip every switch. I really learned my lesson moving into our last apartment in China, the apartment I did not like. I did not thoroughly look through it, so I am thoroughly looking through everything. I don't care if somebody lived in here or not. I'm going to look through all the cabinets, open up the refrigerator, open up the cabinets, because I don't want to make the same mistake we made back in China. So this is apartment number 2 located in the same building. This apartment is on the 7th floor. Again, it is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment listed at 15 million Vietnamese dong, which equals about 570 USD. I did like this apartment more than the first one. Something about the green and the decorations and the flowers and plants drew me to this apartment. Something I noticed differently apartment hunting in China versus Vietnam is you will have the owners come to the apartment to let you in or be there for the showing. I'm not really sure why. Maybe they want to answer any questions you may have, but in China, I didn't meet any of the landlords or owners for the apartments that we went and looked at, which is not a bad thing. It's just something very different. The views in this apartment was very nice. However, since it was located on such a low floor, it probably does get noisy. It's also right across the street from the huge amusement park and water park. So I was worried that it could get pretty noisy on the weekends. This apartment was fairly cute and she kept it really nice and clean. The decorations were pretty cute, but just a little basic compared to what I'm looking for. And 2, I did think the closet size was way too small for what I did have with me. So I needed way more storage space than this apartment did have. Apartment number 3 was located in a completely different building, and the realtor was nice enough to pick us up a tut-tut ride, which is a go-kart that you can ride on. It's usually costs 50,000 Vietnamese dong, which equals about $1.90. So he paid for that for us to catch a ride over to this building. This apartment is located on the 18th floor. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. It was listed at 14 million Vietnamese dong, which equals about 532 USD. Unfortunately, this apartment was just not my vibe. I wasn't really feeling the style of this apartment. It just was not meant for me, but it's probably the perfect apartment for somebody else. So I wanted to continue our journey to find the perfect apartment because, again, like I mentioned before, we made the mistake of rushing and moving into an apartment too fast that we did not like. And I do not want to do that again. I'm trying to find a long-term stay where we can stay for a year and be completely comfortable and really just vibe and fall in love with the apartment. It is very cute. I did like the rug. I do like the gigantic TV and the wall on the TV. The views were really nice and beautiful, but again, just not my style. I wanted to walk in and feel like home and comfort and love and really just make the place our own. And I just was not feeling that here for some reason in this apartment. But like I said, it is meant for somebody else, just not for me. But this apartment did come with an oven, which is very rare. However, living in China, I've gotten so used to not even using an oven or buying my own oven that is not a top priority for me when it comes to finding an apartment. So here we are at apartment number 4. And again, the owner was there. I do believe he does live in this apartment currently until he rents it out. This apartment is located on the 17th floor. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, and it is listed at 16 million Vietnamese dong, which is about 608 USD. That price is negotiable, and this apartment was actually so nice. I honestly could not believe a man owned this apartment. Typically, when men own apartments, they don't put as much care into the apartment, and he actually did an amazing job. Like, look at that chandelier. It is so beautiful. This is the primary bedroom. There is no bed in the room. He did say he would put a brand new bed in for us. I was not feeling this secondary room though. I'm not really sure what that is on the wall or if that is something that can be removed, but I would definitely want that removed because I just did not think it went with my vibe, my aesthetic at all. However, this kitchen was so nice. I love the color of the cabinets. That's actually very unique. You really don't see that often. And he also did offer to let us keep the air fryer slash oven that he had in the apartment, which I thought was nice as well. This is the outside of the community lit up at night. It is so peaceful, quiet, very beautiful, and very aesthetically pleasing. The next apartment we're going to see is located across this courtyard. So we had to walk over here to go view this other apartment. But first we stopped at the pool to go look at it. It was so beautiful and such a just calm, relaxing vibe, y'all. I cannot wait to get into an apartment and just relax and chill poolside. All right, y'all. Apartment number 5, located on the 11th floor. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, and it is listed at 18 million Vietnamese dong, which equals about 684 USD, and that price can be negotiated. Now, this apartment is fairly new. However, the owners, which are those two sweet aunties, they do live in this apartment. However, everything was pretty much brand new. The cabinets, the sink, this little island that I absolutely loved. You barely find islands in Asia. In China, we barely found any apartments that had little islands, and same thing here. Now this, y'all, that is a wine cooler. I was so excited to see this wine cooler. I thought she was opening up the fridge to give me some wine. I got really excited at this point, but this view was so nice. I love how the plants come onto the patio and even up above. This apartment complex is called The Garden, known for all the plants being on the balconies. It was actually really, really nice. And the walls, they decorated this place so lovely. It was definitely my vibe. I was feeling this place whenever I came in, even though they lived in it and it was a little bit of a mess. I love this place. And y'all, I was not prepared for this room. Like, look at that bed. Look at the vanity. It was so beautiful. I had to tell Adisa, get up off this lady's bed. What is she doing? Embarrass me like that, laying on somebody else's bed. Now, this room does have floor to ceiling windows. I never thought I would like that, but once you get inside and see, it's actually so beautiful. And this closet, y'all, wait till you see this closet light up. I think that was my favorite feature next to the bed. All right, y'all. So here we are at apartment number 6. At this point, I'm getting so tired. It's getting late at night. Your girl is hungry and my back hurt. But I'm so glad I made it to see this apartment because this apartment was a brand new, never lived in, which is exactly what we were looking for. Located on the second floor, it is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Listed at 20 million Vietnamese dong, which equals about 760 USD. And baby, these aunties was not coming down on that price. They said that price is fixed because it is brand new and never lived in. They want their money's worth, and they felt like the balcony was gigantic, so it was really worth it. However, being located so low, the view was not all that. It is, I don't know if I mentioned, in the same building owned by the same ladies that showed us the apartment previous. Whew, that was a mouthful. But anyway, y'all, the kitchen was very nice. Not as nice as the one previous. And the fridge was brand new. Y'all know I have to look at everything. So I open up the fridge. I will open up the microwave. I'll open up the cabinets. I will open up that dishwasher to look inside to make sure everything is right, exactly what I like. So this is the first bedroom. I could not believe how beautiful the bedroom was. The walls were stunning. Absolutely gorgeous, y'all. And look at my babe. She is cheesing so big because she is blown away about how gorgeous this apartment is. So on to the primary bedroom. It did have this big closet. I love the bed, enough said. And that vanity was so gorgeous. And look at these shelves in the closet that all light up. I'm visualizing all my purses being in that closet on display. And the bathroom was, you know, a nice bathroom. It does have some shelf space, which is what I need. Okay, y'all, so it is day 2 of apartment hunting. I had to get some rest because my back, my legs, my neck, everything was hurting. So this is apartment number 7. It is located on the second floor. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment listed at 22 million Vietnamese dong, which equals 836 USD. And the owner was not coming down on that price because these expats who currently live there, they're moving out soon. They have been paying that price for a whole year. So she wanted her money's worth, which I completely understand because this was a beautiful apartment. However, because the people were currently home, I did not get great views of this apartment. I did not want to film them, but that kitchen was so beautiful and I love the chandelier. It was something very unique, such a unique vibe in this apartment. And we loved how they had this office space, which is exactly what my wife is looking for. She wants her own office gaming room. And again, this is the outside community. Apartments 5, 6, 7, and 8, which you're about to see, are all located in the same community, the garden apartments. And they call that because as you see on the building, there are lots and lots of plants and greenery. This is the final apartment that we look at. This is apartment number 8, a brand new duplex. This is a 2-story, 2 living room, 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom duplex, listed at 25 million Vietnamese dong if it is unfurnished, which is about 950 USD. However, if we wanted it furnished by the owner, it would cost 35 million Vietnamese dong, which is equal to 1,331 USD. And y'all, this apartment was immaculate. It was so beautiful and so very spacious. I could not believe how wonderful this apartment was for that price. However, because we are coming from China with literally just our clothes, it would take us a while to furnish the apartment. Even our realtor did not recommend us getting this apartment because of how much it was going to be to furnish. Not necessarily because of the price of the furnishing, but just the stressors that come along with furnishing a brand new apartment. Now, there was no electricity in this apartment, so I could not turn on the lights to the bathroom. I don't even know why I was going in there filming like a fool in the bathroom, nor did I think to turn on the flashlight to view the bathroom, so I have no idea what any of them look like. So this is the second story. There is another door that you can get to this apartment from the second floor of the building. That is the second living room, and these are just the other bedrooms. Now, the apartment did come with 2 full beds in 2 of the bedrooms. So if we did want to come here, we would at least have beds to sleep on while we work on getting this place furnished. And to my surprise, Mela absolutely loved this apartment. We debated back and forth for so long on which apartment was going to be best for us. And this was definitely in the top 2 when it came to deciding which apartment that we want to get. By the time this video will be posted, we will have already moved into our apartment. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and following along to see our apartment tour video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.